Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Well, let me get this off the screen real quick. Here we go. All right. Let's start off real quick. I just want to give a little brief overview of the game. I know a lot of people are overreacting and they're saying, oh, it's going to be tough to win 6 games. I wish I could come on here and say, oh, I feel, that we're going to win next week against Maryland. It's tough. And I think a lot of the reason why people are overreacting after this game is because it kind of proves something that we already knew. We're not a very good football team. We just aren't. We played an Illinois team who wasn't very good. We played a Northwestern team who was starting a brand new quarterback. And then we played Purdue, who's a dumpster fire. And honestly, Michigan State, they are probably the worst of the bunch today. They are worse than Purdue. I truly believe that. They're worse than Northwestern. They tried to give us the game numerous times. It was like Scott Frost was coaching for them today, man. They tried to give us give us the game numerous times. They had 3 and outs in the fourth quarter. They missed a field goal. They gave up that big run by Harburg, and yet we still lost the football game. And I don't want to sit here and say we got outcoached, because I don't think we did. I think, again, they are not very good, well coached. They have an interim head coach. Not really much he could do. Discipline-wise, they're not very good either. But man, I don't know what it is. I don't know why we lost it. I don't think we wanted it as much as they did. Harburg was terrible. There's not much coaching you could do when Harburg is as bad as he was today. 3 turnovers. One of them got called back due to a holding, and all 3 of his turnovers were terrible throws. And then that last one, I was sitting there with my dad at the end of the game, and I said, he's gonna either throw a pick here or have a fumble. And there it was, right? Like one of the most predictable things. Ever, right? And it happened on 2. I think he ended it with 4 turnovers actually because of the play that happened right at the end, which we'll talk about. Which, by the way, that was an incomplete pass. I'll start off with the comments. So everybody, put in your thoughts down below. Let's start off with the comments though. Starting off with Access Honesty, he says refs awful. Oh yeah, the refs were horrendous today. There was the first one, which they had a touchdown completion that was not a completion at all. The ball clearly hit the ground, and then they said they went out there and they were like, "Yep, play stance." And he even took a dramatic pause. He was enjoying that. The head ref was enjoying calling that completion. It was not a completion. Then they missed a PI in the very next possession where they literally ran into Malachi Coleman. The safety ran into him. Missed that call. There were some numerous other examples. At the end of the game, there was a first down call where we clearly got the first down. The play clock would have stopped for a little bit, and then we're like, nope, that's a yard short. Excuse me, man. I'm stuttering because I'm really angry right now. There was a lot of bad spots today, a lot of generous Michigan State calls. Just frustrating. And then the last play of the game, oh my goodness, what a crap show was that. The last play of the game, that was a clear incomplete pass. I get it. It was a bang play, but the arm was going forward very clearly, but nope. Refs didn't do us any favors today. Did us no favors. And looking back on that touchdown that Michigan State had, the touchdown that hit the ground, that had a big impact on the ball game when it was all said and done. So refs were horrendous. And you know what's funny about it? They messed up so many calls today, but they can go sit there and have a job by the end of the day, right? They'll still have a job. They're going to go smile about it. Like, just buffoonery. And I'm not a guy who likes to sit here and blame the refs, because honestly, we really did not deserve to win this ball game. But the refs were horrendous today. Just horrendous. And they need to be held accountable. But it is what it is. I'm not going to really sit here and complain about the refs the rest of this live stream, but we needed to talk about it at the jump because they were horrendous today. Really bad. Let's see what else we have here. So Grandpa Jim says, Heinrich was awful today. We need a better quarterback in 2024. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep. Harburg did exactly what he's always done. And what's funny about it is I know a lot of people might sit here and say, oh, well, this is the worst game of Harburg's career. Harburg's played like this almost every single game. Like, he's not an accurate quarterback. He can't throw the ball more than 20 yards down the field. He stares down receivers. He throws a lot of bad interceptions. He has a lot of turnovers. He leads the nation in turnovers. Like, this wasn't a new thing. Harburg's always been like this. The difference is in other games, our defense has played a lot better, so we haven't needed Harburg to go down and score points. Today, the defense was abysmal. Michigan State went down the field at will, and they had different quarterbacks in almost every drive. Like, made no sense, man. Harburg's awful, man. And I said this, and unfortunately I predicted this the last couple of videos I made, is that I said that Matt Rule will continue to stick with Harburg. He will never bench Harburg unless he loses a game that he has no business losing. That happened today. And Harburg played abysmal. What do we do at quarterback? I don't know, guys. I don't know, because you can't make the excuse that, oh, Harburg doesn't turn the ball over like Sims. Yes, he does. We have two quarterbacks who turn the ball over. And we have two quarterbacks that lose football games. And we have two quarterbacks that look incompetent. Which one do you want? Which one's more talented? I think that Jeff Sims is more talented when it comes down to his genetics, when it comes down to him running the football, when it comes down to him having that arm strength. I think Jeff Sims is a more talented quarterback. We'll see what they do next week. Honestly, I think Chubba Purdy's the guy. I want to give Chubba Purdy a couple reps. Chubba Purdy, by far, we've seen this in his career here. We've seen this in his career with Florida State. He is the most talented passer of the football on our roster. It's not debatable. It's not debatable at all. So I would love to see if Chubba Purdy could get some snaps, but the only downside of playing a guy like Chubba Purdy is the fact that he cannot run the football. He can't run the football. You take away such a big part of our offense by putting him in that I don't think Sir Marcus Satterfield or Matt Rule is going to do that. And Marcus Satterfield is not a good enough OC to completely change up the game plan. He's just terrible. Marcus Satterfield, horrendous. And he's getting paid $1.5 million to be this bad. It's a joke. On to the next comment again. Keep putting stuff in here. I just hope Danny Dimes can play. Yeah, when it comes down to Danny Kaelin, man, I just hope when he gets on campus next year, he is an early bloomer. It's frustrating because he hasn't been playing good as a senior at Bell West. So I don't think he'll be ready to go, and nor should he. We got to look to the portal, man. We got to look to the portal. No doubt about it. Declan goes on to talk about, goes on to talk about all the refs. Yeah, the refs are bad. The refs were just horrendous today. And I don't really want to sit here and talk about the refs all stream, but they need to be held accountable because they were awful. They were playing out awful today. And they didn't do us any favors. We did not deserve to win this football game. No, rest assured, we did not deserve to win. Matt Rule did not get these guys ready to go. I don't know what it was. Clearly, and here's what I will say. I'm not going to sit here and say we got outcoached, but clearly Michigan State wanted this game more than we did. Just the way they play. They wanted this game more than we did. So, they got it done at the end of the day. So, I'm going to go through all of my notes that I had for this game. We'll see what comes up, but everybody keep putting all your stuff in the comments section. We'll get some talking points in here. First off, first quarter, Harburg was really bad. The defense was terrible, especially the first half. The defense was horrendous. It was a lot of these dink and dunk passes. Michigan State didn't really have a huge chunk play all day. They just did these dink and dunks that went down the field for 20, 25, 30 yards. They made it look super easy. And not only am I saying to myself, wow, the defense needs to step up, why can't our defense do something like that? They make it look easy. They have a redshirt freshman and a true freshman playing at quarterback, and we couldn't do anything about it. Secondary, just really inconsistent today, right? Malcolm Hartzog actually had some pretty good reps. Not a big Malcolm Hartzog guy, but then, again, he got burnt like he has been. Tommy Hill, same way. He made a really good play in the first half where he almost jumped to football for a pick, and then he got burnt the rest of the game. Mekhi Gabayer, though, as a linebacker, played really solid. I thought the linebacker core in general played all right. Pass rush was not there today. The pass rush, and this is the way it's been all season, it's inconsistent. It showed up for one drive today where Cam Lenhard got in for a sack and then James Williams got in for a sack. That was the only drive we did anything in the pass rush. Other than that, they had all day in the pocket. So defense was bad today. It really was, especially the first half. We had some good defensive stops as the game went on. Yeah, we didn't force any turnovers. How is that possible? Right? This is the difference between a good and a great defense. We're a good defense. We put up 20 today. Maybe we weren't a good defense today, by the way. We were pretty bad. However, we are standardly a good defense. The reason why we're not a great defense is because we cannot force turnovers, ever. Okay? Great defenses play these type of quarterbacks, and they force turnovers, and they force bad passes, and they get to them and strip the ball loose. Michigan State is not a great defense, but they forced 4 turnovers today. What does that make us look offensively? So, yeah, that was bad. That was real bad. Let's see. Harburg was good in the running game. Again, he had that big play in the fourth quarter that cut the lead down to only 3. So he was fine in the running game. Again, that's what he always has been. Like, he's pretty good stepping up in the pocket and running it if he needs to. other than that, man, Harburg was terrible. I'm not going to sit here and defend Harburg. Fedoni was all right today. Had a couple of nice catches. Kemp, let's talk about the punt return situation real quick. This was terrible. This was Rule's big coaching mistake today. He put Kemp back there only to fair catch. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Not against Michigan State. Only to fair catch. Ethan Nation was only back there one time at the end of the game. The thing about that too is that Kemp fair caught a lot of balls that should not have been fair caught. He had room to run, and then there were a couple that were inside the 10. He had two that were inside the 10 that he fair caught. One was at the 5-yard line. You let that bounce under no circumstances. This is what you're taught in high school, that you should not fair catch a ball inside the 10. But he fair caught that and screwed us over in the meantime. Just horrendous. The whole punting situation was bad. On the other side of things, Bushidi was awful today. Had a shank. He had 2 punts for 30 yards. One was for like 20. Bushidi, every single punt he had, I think he punted a grand total of 5 times. Really bad. And this is supposed to be one of the best punters in the country. Like, didn't do the defense any favors. It was a complete failure on all parts, on all cylinders. Offense was bad today. Defense let up big plays, and the special teams was really not great. The only body who showed up today was Tristan Alvano. And not really. I mean, he only had a chip shot field goal. So, yeah. Play calling was really bad. Second half, we were just throwing the football a lot more than we needed to. Again, when you are in a one-possession game, especially in the first half, go play to your strengths. You are not throwing the ball 3 times in a row under any circumstances with Heinrich Haarberg in the shotgun. Ever. You should not ever do that. Yeah, Satterfield's terrible. Option offense. We tried that option pass like we have every other game, and finally didn't work. I was waiting for it not to. We didn't go back to it, so yep. Expect to see that again next week, though. I think teams are finally starting to catch on. So that was my notes for the first half. Second half, we had a great running to start off the drive, start off the first half, and then Bullock had a huge drop and a little comeback route that made us end the drive. That was terrible. And I don't want to say I'm an Alex Bullock hater, but this is a guy who started almost every single game for us and has nothing to show for it. He's had a lot of drops over the games. A lot of drops. And his whole selling point, like, he's not a very big receiver. He's not a very fast receiver. His whole selling point was, oh, he's such a great route runner. Apparently, Matt Rule said he was the best route runner on the team. And they also said he had great hands. Why does he lead the team in drops then? Alex Bullock, man, he killed us with those drops. Let's see some other things here. Yeah, we just give up chunk plays really easily. I wanted to see Chuba in the third quarter. We never saw him. Again, Matt Rule will never go away from Heinrich Haarberg until we had a loss like we did today. It was kind of a needed loss for Matt Rule to reevaluate the quarterback situation, because he never was going to do that. There was no quarterback battle the last 3 weeks, even though Haarberg has played awful every single week. The reason why there hasn't been is because we keep winning. So he's like, okay, we'll just go with the hot hand, even though it's not really a hot hand. Like, here's the dirty little secret. Haarberg wasn't winning us these ball games. It wasn't Haarberg's doing. It was running the football, and it was our defense. So I don't really think putting in Jeff Sims would have done anything bad, because Haarberg's turning over the ball just like he was. But, yeah. We'll see what happens this week. It'll be an interesting week. Let's see some more things. Into the fourth quarter. Get bad call for that touchdown. Fair caught at the 5. Malachi Coleman has first catch of the game for 30 yards. His only catch of the game. And then Haarberg threw that really bad pick. And then we ran the ball with like 2 minutes left to go. We were on that hurry-up offense, and we ran the ball on a 2nd and 10. Like, it made no sense. Like, what are we doing? No timeouts. Just a joke, man. Just a joke. The coaching was bad today, guys. Yeah, keep putting stuff in the comment section. I don't know what to say, guys. It was a bad loss. It was a bad loss today. And now we're sitting here at 5-4. We still have a winning record. Excuse me. We still have a winning record. I don't want to say we control the West by any means, but Wisconsin lost today. Minnesota plays right now, and they're already down 7-0, so Minnesota might lose. Iowa plays Northwestern. Iowa might lose. We still might be tied for the Big Ten West by the end of the day, as crazy as that sounds. What hurts about that, though, is that if we won today, we would have been in solo first. So, yeah, just a bad loss, man. Just a bad loss. Next week, Maryland, at the crib, 11 o'clock game. That is instantly a must-win. because I don't think we're going to go to Camp Randall and win that game. If we went into East Lansing and lost today, I have a hard time believing we're going to go into Wisconsin and win that ball game. So it makes it that much more important that we win next week. And Maryland's not a very good football team. I'm going to have my eyes on their game this week and see how they perform. But man, that seems like a must win. So I understand a lot of people. A lot of people are kind of overreacting a little bit and saying, I don't know if we can win 6 games. I don't know if we can either, because looking at our next 4 games, our next 3 games, today was the easiest game we had left, and we lost it. So it's going to be hard to win the next 3, unless we make a change at quarterback or Harburg pulls some out of him that we haven't seen yet from him. I don't know. It was a failure, and it's frustrating. We had victory all over this game. We had so many opportunities to win, and we couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Defense failed, offense failed, time and time again. Satterfield was terrible today. The whole punting situation was bad. Punt returns, punting. What else can I say? And Michigan State tried to give us the game over and over. Missed field goals, penalties at inopportune times. They tried to give us the game. They're not a good team. They're undisciplined. They lead the Big Ten in penalties per game. They had a true freshman and a redshirt freshman starting at quarterback today. They are not good. There was I think our first or second drive, it was in the first half, and we just went down the field just because of 3 penalties in a row by Michigan State. We went down the field. We were getting bailed out left and right. Michigan State is an unserious football team. They're not good. I don't really know how much I can reiterate this, guys. They're very similar to how we have been under Scott Frost. Like, that's how I treat it. We lost to a Scott Frost coach football team today. We lost to a team that, has a little bit of talent on their roster, but has a quarterback who's not very experienced, has an undisciplined team. They have, a lot of penalties, and, they try to give the game away, and somehow they won. We lost to a Scott Frost basically coach team today. That's the way I treat it. Would love to hear what Matt Rule said in the media. Let's look at the box score, guys. Let's look at the box score here. Share my screen with you guys real quick. All right. Let's look at the box score. Harburg. 12 for 28, 130 yards, 2 INTs, no touchdowns. Emmett Johnson, another okay game for Emmett, averaged 4.5 a carry. That's solid. Not great, but it's solid. I thought Emmett was okay today, but he didn't really have a big run. His biggest was 11. Josh Fleeks was all right. We basically ran the same play call with him 4 times where he ran the football. It was a little just outside zone. He was all right. Just a little bit of a change of pace. Fedoni was okay with 3 catches. Malachi Coleman, I don't remember his second catch. I remember his first. Man, the true freshmen have got to step out more, dude. This goes for Malachi. This goes for Jalen Lloyd. This goes for that's about it. That goes for Jane Doss. I haven't heard of Jane Doss' name at all this year, even though he's played the last 2 games. They need to step up. Like, Malachi, you're more talented than this. Two receptions for 40 yards, and those came in garbage time. And Jalen Lloyd, 1 for -4 on a little screen pass. Like, they need to step up. These wide receivers have been playing horrendous, and they're so talented. And I thought the smartest thing that Tim Brando said today on the call was that Fedoni was our best pass catcher and our most, versatile guy playing today. That's a fact, and that's not very much of a good look because Fedoni's not great either. Fedoni has a lot of flaws. Fedoni's in year 3. He was almost a 5-star recruit, and he's not even a middle-of-the-pack tight end in the Big Ten. Like, Fedoni has a lot of flaws, guys. And yet, I agree with Tim Brando that Fedoni's by far our best pass catcher. Like, it's not really close. Really bad, though. Really bad stuff, guys. Going on to the defense. Luke Reimer, I thought the linebacker core in general played all right today. But other than that, really not good. Let's go to Michigan State stats. So, yeah, they just bounced back at quarterback. It was odd. Haven't really seen too much like that. Hauser was 13 for 20. Pretty good completion percentage there. Nathan Carter averaged 3.3. Like, the run defense was solid. Only 3.3 given up per carry. So that's where you're going to take every single time. Guess who killed us, though? Their wide receivers. I talked about that in my pregame show. Monterey Foster was awesome. Tyrell Henry was awesome. And they killed us. And a lot of these plays, you see that 94 yards, 54 yards. It wasn't like they got that all in one play, right? They got like a little dig and dug slant pass, and they take it for 30 yards because of run after catch. Like, the secondary just didn't pick them up. Frustrating stuff, man. Frustrating stuff. Let's go to the team stats real quick. So we had more first downs, though. I want to see, yeah, so we actually won time possession, barely. Third down efficiency, bad on both teams. Again, not a very good coach Michigan State team. They're just not. They had a lot of 3-and-outs. We had a lot of 3-and-outs. We had, I think, 4 3-and-outs in this game. Cannot happen, ever. Against this bad of Michigan State team. Bad. Real bad. Yep. Okay, they only counted 3 turnovers, but that's interesting. We had 4 turnovers because of that play right at the end. I want to see what they put that on ESPN. Let's see. In the fourth quarter. Sacked for a loss of 18 yards. They didn't even count that. They didn't even count it. Okay. Yep. Oh, they incomplete. All right. So, yeah, ESPN's messing up here, but just a depressing loss, guys. Just a depressing loss. I want to see what Matt Rule has to say in the comments section, or not in the comments section, in his press conference. Yeah, keep putting stuff in the comment section, guys. Let's see what Matt Rule had to say. Okay. Shout out to 24/7 Huskers on Twitter. Ever scoring play by MSU had a pass of 25 plus yards. Yep, just like we talked about. And it was work in the air. It was run after catch. Expected us to go down and kick a field goal on the final drive. That's what he expected? Did he really expect that? Come on, Matt. You know better. You know better than we do. And I know for a fact that no Nebraska fan had hope in this offense going down the field and scoring a field goal when we got the ball back with, 40 seconds left? That's coach talk right there. There's no way he expected that. Some plays down up at the quarterback connect. Didn't consider trying another quarterback. Like I said. I mean, I've been preaching this the last 3 weeks, guys. He is never going to go away from Harburg unless he had a loss like he did today. And now he's going to have to reevaluate it. If I were to predict 2 starts next week, it's Heinrich Harburg. Because Rule is going to go back to him. And that's unfortunate because Heinrich Harburg played one of the worst quarterback performances we've ever seen from Nebraska Cornhusker. He played worse than Jeff Sims played in Minnesota, and he played worse than Jeff Sims played in Colorado. It was not even close. He was terrible today. Awful. If we're up to me, Chubb Purdy starts next week. If it can't be Chuba, Jeff Sims. Heinrich Harburg should not start by any means. He was that bad. He was that bad. Billy Kemp, not quite 100%, but wanted to catch the ball. Okay. You're the coach. You can say no. And I'll tell you what, Billy Kemp hurt the team today because he only fair caught that football, especially inside the 10. Especially inside the 10 where you're supposed to let that one go into the end zone, but he decided to fair catch it anyways. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Went for a lot of blocks on the punt today. Yeah, our punt returns, we were going after a couple blocks. I saw that. We did a good job. Almost got a couple. Credit made to MSU for big plays. Yep. Nothing was explained to me when talking about the refs. Yeah, refs. Again, this reffing crew is a joke. It was that bad today. And they're going to go home and they're going to smile and drink some hot cocoa. They're a joke. And really, they shouldn't be employed. That's how bad they were today. That's how bad. There needs to be accountability for refs. They were that bad. And it was time and time again. It wasn't one bad call, right? I can understand it if it was one bad call. You know, that one touchdown play, it's whatever, right? It was one bad call. The fact that they did it time and time again against us, whether it was a terrible spot, whether it was a missed PI call, every single time, and they had a clear discrepancy between us and Michigan State. And they made it very well known early on in the game that they're going to call those tic-tac penalties, but for some reason, they only called it when we did it, but not when Michigan State did. I just want to put it out there. We're finding out what it's like to play a game with consequences late in the year. Yeah. Yep. Again, this team isn't very good. I think that's why a lot of people, again, are overreacting. They're saying, I don't think we're going to win another game. That's because we're not a very good football team. And we knew that the entire time. We were just kind of happy to win the last couple weeks. But deep down in our hearts, we always do, yeah, we're not great. We're not a very good football team. I never truly believed in my heart of hearts we were ever going to win the Big Ten West. I still don't. Because we're not that good. But you know what? It feels good to win one. It feels good to have a little optimism. So yeah. But yeah, guys, that's my spiel. That's what I got to say. If anybody else has anything, please let me know in the comment section. but we might just get out of here if you guys have nothing else to add. But yeah, again, just not a very good game, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, but life goes on, guys. Life goes on. But yep, nobody else has anything else to say in the comment section. I think we're gonna get out of here. Get ready for Maryland. So we'll have a video come out about that. And yeah, so yep, that's it, everybody. See you in the next one. And again, thank you for joining me on this live stream.